Hi, it's Steve from PartSelect. Today we're going to show you how to change the hex nut on your drum roller shaft. It's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a Phillips screwdriver, a 5/16 nut driver, and a 1/2 inch wrench. Let me show you how we do it. Before we begin this repair, the first thing we'll do is disconnect the power to the dryer. If your dryer has a cord on it, simply remove it from the receptacle. If it's a hardwired dryer, you'll need to locate the breaker panel or the fuse panel and disconnect the power at that source. Now the first step will be to remove 2 Phillips screws that are located about 1 inch in from either side, and they're angled outward. So if you don't have the opportunity to tilt your dryer back, you'll probably have to use a stubby Phillips screwdriver. Once you remove the screws, we'll tilt the front panel forward at the bottom and then let it disengage the 2 spring clips at the top. Now if you have room to just turn the front panel around and lean it up against the side of the cabinet, that would be fine. If you don't, you'll need to remove the 2 wires to the door switch. Slide those terminals off and disengage the harness from the harness clip, and then we'll set that front panel aside. Next, we'll remove 4 5/16 hex head screws that secure the bulkhead to the cabinet. Now with those 4 screws removed, we'll next disengage the harness from the clip. Just lay that aside. And then we can pull the front bulkhead away from the dryer. Now if it's the front drum felt that you are changing, this is as far into the disassembly as you would have to go. The felt is held in place with little metal tabs that are actually part of the bulkhead. It'd be simply a matter of taking a flat blade screwdriver, going in under the edge of those tabs, just bending them up enough that you can pull the felt out. You do that all the way around, and we install our felt and fold the tabs back over. Now we're going to show you the rear one, just in case that is the one that you need to replace, because it does require a little more disassembly. Now our next step will be to remove the belt and drum. So we can reach in underneath the drum and just lift it off of the rear rollers. Just pull it ahead a few inches. Then we can reach in through, locate the idler pulley, roll the belt off of the idler pulley and away from the motor pulley. And then we can lift the drum right out through the front. Now to remove the nut from the drum roller shaft, the original ones may have either a 1/2 inch or a 9/16 nut on them. So if the 1/2 inch wrench doesn't fit on it, you can pretty much be assured that it is a 9/16. There's a bracket that shaft attaches to, and there's a little space behind it to get your wrench on. A couple of turns and it'll probably come off by hand. Now when installing that shaft, then we can reach around with your hand, start the nut on the roller shaft. And then with our 1/2 inch wrench, we'll reach in behind and tighten that nut up. Now the shaft may want to turn at the same time, so you may need to put a little pressure on that shaft to hold it in place. Make sure it's good and snug, the roller turns freely. And now we're ready to reinstall the drum. Now our next step will be to reinstall the belt and the drum. So we'll take the belt with the groove side outwards. We'll just drape it around the back bulkhead and lay it roughly in position with the motor pulley and the idler pulley. Next we'll slide the drum in. And we'll leave it out about 3 or 4 inches on the bottom from the back. Reach in over the top, take the belt, line it up roughly where it's going to end up. And then we'll reach in between the drum and the rear bulkhead, locate the belt, we'll roll it over the motor pulley, back around underneath the idler pulley. Then we want to make sure that the belt didn't slip into the groove in the drum. We can lift it up into place, set it on the 2 rear drum rollers. We want to make sure that that rear felt is not jammed between the drum and the bulkhead. So make sure it's folded back. Then we can rotate the drum clockwise just to make sure that the belt seats properly, and you should see the blower wheel turning. There. Now we're ready to put the front bulkhead on. Now we're ready to reinstall the front bulkhead. So we want to make sure that the felt is folded back, it doesn't get twisted. And we need to make sure that the inlet duct assembly lines up. You may have to lift up on the drum slightly. Now there are 4 little tabs, 2 on each side, that will allow you to hang that bulkhead in place until you're ready to put the screws in. Before we tighten it down, we'll want to make sure that, again, that felt is tucked outside of the drum all the way around, and that the air inlet fits snugly into the felt. Now we can locate the door switch wires, hook them over the harness clip, and we're ready to install the front panel. First we'll reconnect the wires to the door switch. Make sure the terminals fit snugly on the switch. Place the wire harness in the clip. We'll line the front panel up with the cabinet, tilt it out at the bottom, and we want to engage those 2 clips at the front edge of the main top. And if they're engaged properly, the panel should hang evenly on both sides. Make sure that the door switch wires didn't pop out and get caught between the cabinet and the front panel. And then we're ready to reinstall the 2 screws. Now we're ready to reconnect the power, and our repair is complete. Told you it was an easy job. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your repair.